SQL interview questions and answers 51 to 55. Question number 51. What is the difference between a having clause and a where clause? In SQL, the where clause and the having clause are used to filter data from a table, but there are some key differences between the two. The where clause filters the record from the table based on a specified condition. It works at the row level and filters the data before and grouping is done. The where clause can be used without a group by clause. On the other hand, the having clause filters the group based on a specified condition. It works at the group level and filters the data after grouping is done. The having clause cannot be used without a group by clause. Another way to think of it is that having clause is an additional filter to where clause. The where clause is used to filter records from result before any grouping is made, whereas the having clause is used to filter values from a group. It is important to note that where clause can filter data based on any column, while having clause can only filter data based on columns that have been grouped. In summary, the main difference between the where clause and having clause is that where clause filters the rows before grouping, while the having clause filters the groups after grouping. Additionally, the where clause can filter data based on any column, while the having clause can only filter data based on columns that have been grouped. Question number 52. What is the difference between union and union all SQL syntax? In SQL, both union and union all are used to combine the result of two or more select statements. However, there are some differences between the syntaxes. Union performs a distinct operation on the result set, meaning that it will eliminate any duplicate rows. On the other hand, union all does not perform any elimination or duplicates, which means that it includes all rows even if they are duplicates. Another difference is that union sorts the resulting set in ascending order, whereas the union all does not sort the result set. To illustrate the syntax of union all, consider the following example. Suppose you have two tables, table 1 and table 2, with the same number of columns and compatible data types. You could use the following syntax to combine the results of two select statements that retrieve data from each of these tables. SQL code, that is select column 1, column 2 from table 1, union all, select column 1, column 2 from table 2. This will return all rows from both tables even if they are duplicates. If you use union instead of union all, then duplicates will be eliminated from the result set. Question number 53. What are different types of triggers in SQL Server? There are three types of triggers in SQL Server, which are DML triggers, DDL triggers, and logon triggers. DML triggers, also known as data manipulation language triggers, are executed automatically in response to certain events such as inserting, updating, or deleting data in a table. These triggers can be used to enforce business rules, audit data changes, or perform other actions based on the data changes. DDL triggers, or data definition language triggers, are executed automatically in response to certain events that occur during scheme changes, such as creating, altering, or dropping a table, view, or stored procedure. These triggers can be used to control scheme changes and enforce database security policies. Logon triggers are executed automatically when a user logs into database instance. These triggers can be used to track login activity or perform other actions based on user logins. Overall, triggers in SQL Server are powerful tools that can help automate tasks, enforce business rules, and ensure data integrity. Question number 54. If we have multiple after triggers on table, how can we define the sequence of triggers? If you have multiple after triggers on the table in SQL Server, you can use the sp_set triggers trigger order system stored procedure to define the sequence of triggers. However, it is generally recommended to avoid using multiple triggers on the same table. If possible, instead, it is better to have a single trigger that handles all required functionality. Since the importance of trigger sequence may not be obvious to some supporting the database in future, if you need to enforce a specific firing order for triggers in SQL Server, you can use the sys.sp underscore set trigger order system stored procedure to set the order of trigger execution for a table. This can be useful when you have multiple triggers on the same table and you need to ensure that they are executed in a particular sequence. Similarly, in IBM DB2, the activation order of multiple triggers is determined by the order in which they were created based on the timestamp when each create trigger statement executed. Question number 55. What is SQL injection? SQL injection is a type of web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to manipulate the queries that an application makes to its database, usually by inserting malicious SQL statement into an entry field for execution. This technique can be used to retrieve or modify sensitive data, execute authority action on database, or even gain complete control over the application or server. SQL injection attacks exploit a weakness in an application software where user input is either not correctly filtered or not strongly typed, allowing attackers to inject SQL command into application's database. To prevent SQL injection attack, it is important to implement proper input validation and parameterized queries.